Right, so I think it must be 6:30. Thank you all for being here. I would like to announce the opening of the public hearing. The purpose of the public hearing is twofold: to hear citizen input on the past performance by the city in carrying out the Cherry Street maintenance and improvement projects, and also Critter Properties LLC is an applicant requesting approval of a rezoning the southern portion of the property located at 410 East College Street from R2 Single Family Residential to C1 Central Business. I'd like to open the floor now to two representatives from Boones Lake Area Regional Planning Commission. We have Michaela Walton and Dawn Mallory. They're here to speak on the project. I want to start out by thanking you two ladies for carrying this load through putting all this together. This has been about an 8-year project. So we actually started this grant project back in the early 2000s, and looks like if we can get this out of the way today, we can close it out. Also like to thank Linda and Tanya for doing all the heavy lifting here at City Hall, putting it together, all the paperwork, recovering items that are 7, 8 years old and getting letters sent out. So thanks to these four ladies, we might get this thing all closed up tonight. So I'll turn the floor over to you.
Yes, so thank you very much. As Mayor Scott said, we are with the Boones Lake Regional Planning Commission. We have been putting together the closeout paperwork so that we can get this project completed and everyone can get the money dispersed and everyone can be done with the project. So basically why we are here, why we are doing a closeout public hearing is so that we can solicit any public feedback that people had throughout the course of the project. And so whenever you're ready, we can open up the floor to that.
Okay, so anybody who wants to come and speak in regards to this, the floor is open. Take a few minutes and listen to either that or the rezoning. Anything on either one of those items that people would like to speak to, the mic is yours. Just step up and we'll take 5 or 10 minutes maybe to allow this, and then we'll close things out. So.
Hello. All right, so most of me, people in here, I know a lot of faces. I see a lot of people I know. I'm the owner, one of the owners. I'm not the main owner. My wife is of Big Sticky's Barbecue. My, question would be, is there was talks of lots of things, but time frame wise, we went a lot over of what was originally talked about. I know with us being like a newer business, we didn't really have the funds like built up in the beginning to be able to handle like the longer recession of the project itself. I think another thing that hurt us was also the fact that we were like in the beginning stages of it. My understanding, I thought, was that it would be starting from our location and then moving down the road, but finishing at our location as it moved down, where it really didn't ever finish until the whole road was completely like to the point of being finished. So as far as like business-wise, I mean, I know there's a lot of other businesses that really hurt in the whole situation of it being prolonged past where it should have been, but I know we did a lot more, and Brown said we hurt too. There was talks before, rumors. I would say this would probably be a good time to bring it up just to see if anyone knows. This would probably be the time, but about possibly somebody going after the company for money for the fact of the prolonged project, and at that time we would have the opportunity to jump on board also, maybe try to get some funding back for the money that we lost from the project being prolonged. I don't know if that's something that you ask in this situation, but I would say that I would think this is the best spot for it. So is there anything to be brought up in this meeting about any of that, or if there's anything that can be done to be compensated a little bit for the fact of like the project going way over some type of tax break, because I mean, we've never missed a payment. We've paid our taxes just like everyone else does, and did everything we should have did to be, cooperative with the situation. I know I talked to you multiple times about the fact that we were like to the point where we were gonna need funding, or we were gonna have to shut doors, and we didn't really know what to do at that point. We carried on, we made it work, but like, as far as any help or anything like that, it never really came through. So I'd say at this point, like, I'm trying to come to a meeting to ask questions to see if there's any possible way to be maybe helped out in the position that we're in.
Okay, any legal recourse would have to be discussed by the board in closed session. We couldn't talk about anything like that. As you and I spoke before, this was a project that took longer than we thought it was going to. We could just operate on what the engineer estimate was. Ran into a lot of things that were unforeseen. So, yeah, we were upset as well as how long it took, but yeah, we don't have any plans at this point for any action like that I know of. But it could be discussed, but not in open session.
So at this time, like, there's nothing that I can do other than go from this point to maybe talking to somebody within the city in a different section of, I know you guys have your own lawyers, but when we tried to discuss it with him, he said he would talk to you about it, but at this time, like, I don't really know, like, where do I go from here to discuss this matter of the road construction and what ended up causing for our business? Like, how do I move forward with the city with this?
We would have to have a particular request before we could deal with it. But if you're asking me about legal recourse, that would be on your own. I can't give you any, and no one here can give you any legal advice. But if you had some specific request that you wanted to make in writing, then that would be, a possible step. But I'd be glad to visit with you in private, in person at any point if you want to come by.
Well, then that's all I got to discuss.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, what's your name for the record?
It's Derek.
Could you spell that for me?
D-E-R-E-K.
Okay. And last name?
Better, F-E-D-E-R.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank the Alderman again for the meeting in the city. Bud and Nancy Williams, we live on 3rd Street. We've been citizens of Troy for a long time. I want to tell you, we just really appreciate what the city does and all they do. The street department, the road department, those are hard jobs. You'll find no family in Missouri who appreciates MoDOT or the Missouri State Patrol than we do. And we sure appreciate our fine alderman, the mayor, the city police, the street department. Those are hard jobs. And when you plan streets and things like that, you're condemned if you do, you're condemned if you don't. But we just come forward to make a public comment, and we need to leave here and never come from work. But appreciate what the city does in keeping these streets up. We go way back, and I remember when 47 was Cherry Street, or Cherry Street was 47. Remember when Lincoln was Highway 61, and I remember when Highway J was gravel. Okay, so just really again want to say our appreciation to the city and all they're doing to keep the streets up. It's a tough job. It's a tough job, okay? You try to plan, you try to do the budget, things like that. We understand that. And we appreciate the business owners. So, listen, God bless you guys. Appreciate what you do. You all have a good night. All right, thank you again.
Sorry, can I get your name also for the record?
Yes, it's Charles.
Okay.
Charles Nancy Williams. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan Oster, and I had a quick question about, with the street construction, when you are turning from Cherry onto Front Street, and it's like a giant roller coaster there, if that would be fixed or not fixed, or if it's going to continue to be like a bumpy, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Yes. is that gonna stay that way, or will that be addressed or not addressed? And that's just my only concern about the construction there.
Yeah, we have discussed doing something with that. We did get some prices. Our goal was to get the street open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, so it's something we can talk about. We may look at it in the future. Right now, we don't have any plans to do anything with it. But,
Okay,
but we understand that when you make a right turn going west,
it's
yeah, yeah, you gotta slow down. But,
yeah, quite a bit. I know a lot of other citizens have been discussing that, especially on Facebook forums and things like that. So it's something I wanted to maybe just address
Sure.
while I was here. So yeah, and also thank you guys too for all of your work that you do. We do appreciate that here as a community. So thank you.
Thanks.
I'll introduce myself. I know all of you know me. My name's Dennis Dieter. For those of you that don't know me out here, I used to sit up on that board. I was here when the road was talked about in the very beginning. There's a lot of alarming situations with Cherry Street. A lot of it you will never see until there's failure. One of the biggest problems we had was a roundabout. We talked about from the very beginning of leaving the islands out. Because it was on the print, it had to be done. To everybody's concern, some of us wanted to put stripes and arrows to guide the traffic. Wouldn't take out tires at the curbs. The storm drain that was cut out just a few months back was talked about the day I went in of being the wrong one, about why put this in? It's wrong. It's gonna take somebody's tire out. Well, undoubtedly it took somebody's tire and wheel of the right person, because it finally got taken out. I look at it today, I've noticed it in the past few weeks, they have taken part of one of those islands out. For everybody's concerned, I drive a little bitty car. Big guy, little car, I can drive right over the middle of that thing. It's less than any pothole in the city of Troy. That's the route I take every day. I just drive right over the middle. Was it right? I don't know. Is it wrong? I don't know. There's no yellow marks. There's supposed to be. There's not. These are some of the things. When you make the corner from Cherry Street to Front Street, was brought up the day the concrete was poured. It was wrong. The decision was made to leave it that way. When you sit back and you look at this board, some of them weren't here. Most of them were. And the ones that were here then have all voiced concerns about it being multiple things wrong. With that being said, it's not the contractor, because the contractor did exactly what he was told to do, even though he brought it to the attention of the mayor and some of the board that there were problems. But decision was made to continue on. With all of our complaints, 1 year ago this meeting, October of 2022, if it's recorded in the minutes like it should have been, the board was told that we were not to be involved in any day-to-day operations. So I know that one of the members up here is saying that it's the previous mayor. I found it offending that you would accuse a dead man, but at the same token, he was involved in getting this all together, but he wasn't there on the day-to-day operations to see it through. So please do not put Mark Cross in any failure to this, because Mark did everything in his power to make this city a better place. Thank you. Oh, and one more thing. I don't know what happened Well, I know that Big Stickies, where the Brown's Meat was tore down. Does anybody know where those guardrails went to? Jeff, do you have those?
We got them.
Okay. I was just curious because that was taxpayers' money and I hated to see it get thrown away with the building.
We didn't want them getting destroyed during demolition, so we took them out.
Yeah, they could be used in other places. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessica Denman. My office is at 120 West Cherry Street. The gentleman just brought up a point that I was wondering is why has the contractor not been invited to a meeting? Because I think that that's something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration. Did they just follow the plans that they were given, or did they go off plan? And then, anyone who drives down Cherry Street through the lake can tell that slope is off, pitch is off. I mean, you don't have to have an engineering degree to know that the road does not flow well. So, what I would like to see is for the contractor to be invited to a meeting to share their side of the story, what was their directive, what plans did they follow? And I think from there, a list needs to be generated. Somebody that knows what they're doing needs to walk the road and make a list of what the biggest issues are, or what all of the issues are, and prioritize them from, worst to not that bad. And then it needs to be determined, was it a contractor error, or were they following plans that perhaps were trash, because that can happen too. Somebody can write a plan that might look good on a piece of paper, but doesn't work in the real world. So I think that those are all important factors, and to date, I haven't read all the materials or been to all the meetings, but I haven't seen an instance in which the contractor has been invited to share their side of the story in front of the public. So that's really all I have to add. Also, too, my door faces Cherry Street. Right across the street from Big Stickies is where I see each day. I know that the sidewalk on that section where Brown's was replaced twice. So it was laid 3 times. So they put it in twice and took it out, either incorrectly or they perhaps went off the plan and they were like, hey, this looks good on paper, but it's not gonna work in the real world. But, since they haven't been afforded the opportunity to present their side of the story, I, as a taxpayer, tend to wonder, did they not know what they were doing? Or was the plan bad, or what? But the fact is, it was replaced multiple times, as well as the section of street in front of Big Stickies and then other parts of the street. I saw saws out there cutting all sorts of sections out, for months and months. So why was that? What was the reason all of those replacements needed to happen? And, but we just don't know. So I would like to see that information presented to us as taxpayers. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Jessica, how do you spell your last name?
It's a long one.
Okay, and it's currently spelled for Jessica. Thank you.
Hi, I haven't been to a meeting like this before. My name's Linda Lingle, and my concern is the rising cost of the water and sewer bills. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but it seems like our water is gold or something here. It's so high compared to all the other communities.
I'm sorry, this is a public hearing just for the 2 items that are on the public hearing.
Well, like I said, I've never been to a meeting before, but that's a concern. That was why I came here tonight.
So when we start the
But I do
regular,
thank you for the road improvements. That's well appreciated.
if you'd like to speak during citizen comments when we start the meeting in a few minutes, you'll be welcome to say so then, if that works for you. Anybody else on the public hearing items? Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to close this public hearing. We're going to open our regular board meeting. We have a quorum. I'd like to invite you all to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And immediately following that, please remain standing for an invocation by Pastor Obi and Joel First Baptist. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. God, I thank you for this town and for so many people who care so much about it so deeply. God, I pray that as Troy grows, that you just give leadership wisdom to plan well, to take full advantage of the resources you bless us with. I pray you give leaders integrity, guard them, guard their hearts. And God, thank you for this free country and the opportunity to serve you and know you. And God, I pray for the churches in this city that we can make your name known. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the consent.
I'd like to pull item 5, item 5.2. I guess I would go with,
Okay, that's not on consent.
item 7M,
7M,
and 7I.
okay, 7M is not on consent either.
7I.
7I,
Want to move that closed?
okay, we'll remove it from consent. When we get there, we'll entertain a motion. Can I get a motion to approve everything except 7I?
You make that motion?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who was the second? I marked it. Oh,
Alderman
Lifer.
Lifer was the second.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Lifer,
Yes.
Alderman Rickenberg. Yes. Alderman Dillard. Yes. Alderman Jones, I'm sorry, Alderman Warner,
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is citizen comments. Ms. Lincoln, is that right? Linda? We're at citizen comments now, so if you'd like to address the board, you're free to, if you want to expand on what you had to say.
And I already do.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I won't, it's up to you. You're welcome to now, or
Okay, do you want me to repeat everything I said?
it's not necessary. I think the board got the message. If anyone would like to hear from her. So you're concerned about water and sewer rates?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely, as many of us are. So it's just keeps rising, and I don't understand why. So if something can be done, we'd appreciate it.
Very good, thank you. Okay, I have 2 more people on the list here. I have April Bryant.
Hello, good evening. I'm April Bryant. First, I want to thank you for those of you that have been very responsive in my communications with you. I appreciate it. I wanted to express to you some concern in regards to old business, item A. Today, my neighbors and I, within 185 feet of the Troy Housing Development proposal, received our certified letters. I would ask respectfully that elected officials wait and table any kind of motion relating to the Troy Housing Development until you fully hear from the people that are impacted by this development. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, there's a Diane Woodard. Is she here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you there.
That's all right.
Mayor Sconce and fellow Board of Aldermen. I'm a board member of Oasis Resource Center that has been serving our Troy community for nearly 6 years as a 501c for-profit ministry. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to paint a picture of how the decisions made here tonight or in the near future will have a huge impact on this community, and I'm praying specifically that you would hear our hearts. We serve Lincoln County families, preborn, currently up to 2 years of age. The babies that have been born under Oasis as of the beginning of 2023 have been 50. These families, we hope to, sorry, I'm nervous. We help these families to become a thriving and important part of this community by helping them to with life skills. They'll help bring in our future generation of Troy, Missouri, and our surrounding counties. We also provide help and encouragement to those who are undecided on the path they should take when expecting a child in difficult circumstances. All of our services and materials and goods are provided completely free of charge. Oasis operates 100% on donations, and the majority of our staff are volunteers. We've outgrown 3 locations and have managed our donors' gifts so that we are now building a new center that we will own. Building costs have surpassed our initial estimation, and interest rates are soaring. Without your decision to allow a sewer tap or out-of-pocket costs, this increase will be thousands and thousands. Oasis is in the process of building a new facility on Highway H and Snyder Road in Troy. In the build process, Oasis has learned that we need access to a sewer tap. At this point in time, Oasis has been told this access has been denied. Oasis also has attempted to get permitting to have a septic system installed, and we've been told that this has been denied by the county. Oasis is now at an impasse in the building pending this issue. Oasis has been told there are pending negotiations for the access to 52 sewer taps with PWSD and the city. Oasis would like to be considered for one of those sewer taps. The cost of the septic system would be in the range of $35,000 should we get approval, and a septic system may only cost us around $5,000 to $10,000. I've done a few calculations on how this will impact our clients. Let's look at the basic needs. We could purchase over 200,000 newborn diapers, 27,000 containers of baby food, or about 2,500 outfits. Hygiene items we could provide include nearly 4,000 bottles of baby wash or diaper rash cream. Babies and toddlers could be protected with over 1,600 baby gates, 250,000 plug protectors, 90,000 cabinet latches, or 1,000 basic baby monitors. Our parents and life skills education is a highlight of our program. The money we save could pay for over 20 years of about 200 different video lessons for our Lincoln County families to utilize and improve their lives. We are asking you to please use your power to help us, those that have been elected by us, to help us to secure either a sewer tap or our septic system. We want to be on record to show that we are very much have an interest. We were told not to come here this evening because it was not going to be discussed, but we didn't feel that we were on the agenda, that we should be a no-show. So we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, I believe that closes, oh, I'm sorry, Susan. I'm determined to skip over you, I'm sorry. Susan Osborne would like to speak.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you guys for all of your hard work that you have done on the breed-specific legislation. I know that's on the agenda tonight, and whichever way that goes, I want to thank you guys for that. It would be an exciting time for Troy for you guys to come and join the side of the American Veterinary Medical Association, organizations like the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavioral, the National Animal Control and Care Association, and other organizations like that who also support breed-specific legislation, the opposition of that. So I just really hope that we can come to some sort of agreement for the citizens that all really are looking forward to having the language changed in the ordinance. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys all for your hard work that you put into everything and for listening to us for months on end. So thank you.
Yeah, I believe believe that's all the public comments we had. Let's go to item I, introduction of bills. Bill number 1385 is an ordinance repealing the pit bill prohibition, section 305.065 of the municipal code of the city of Troy, and various other deletions and amendments related to the pit bull repeal. Second reading. Bill number 1385 is an ordinance repealing the pit bill prohibition, section 205.065 of the municipal code of the city of Troy, and various other deletions and amendments related to the pit bull repeal. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, you all have the ordinance in your book. Any discussion, questions, concerns on that? Okay, hearing none, I will call for the roll, please.
Alderman Norman,
Yes.
Alderman Horner,
Yes.
Alderman Lyford,
No.
Alderman Dooner,
Yes.
Alderman Deacon,
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 2, bill number 1386 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with the Missouri Highway Transportation Commission for the municipal agreement for the public improvement replacing the Route 47 bridge over US 61, modifying the Route 47 and US 61 interchange to a diverging diamond configuration, and building a segment of the US 61 East Outer Road, Lincoln County, job number J2P 3043. Second reading. Bill number 1386 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for the municipal agreement for the public improvement replacing the Route 47 bridge over US 61, modifying the Route 47 and US 61 interchange to a diverging diamond configuration, and building a segment of the US 61 East Outer Road, Lincoln County, job number J2P 3043.
I'd like to table this. I had asked previous to when I took this ordinance on, and I had a change on item number 26, the city representative. I asked to add the city administrator along with the city's mayor as a representative, and it wasn't added. So I'd like to table it until it's added.
I think the conversation, we were taking that into account, and one of the thoughts was we would add it, so it's in the agenda now, in this order, and the idea we would add it to.
But as far as like being written up, it's not written up as I had asked under the representative.
Correct, the contract is, so what we want to do is authorize the mayor to be able to add that based on.
The city's mayor and or city administrator is what I'd like to add,
Correct.
right? But it's not added in there.
It's not added to the ordinance, but it would be added to the contract, which unfortunately
We
is
can add it to the
in
ordinance. I mean, we gotta add, why can't we add it to the ordinance then?
Because it's in the language of the contract, I believe.
So you're wanting to change the language of the contract, as I understood.
Like, yeah, the section 26, like I had asked about the city representative, since we,
So I believe the contract is yet to come.
So the problem was that the ordinance is listed before the contract. So if we address the contract later, we could revisit the ordinance, would be my suggestion.
Item M, I believe,
7M.
is where you would address that issue.
Alderman Norman, my understanding is you want to add that to the language of the contract. Correct? Do I understand that right? Right. So my suggestion would be that we deal with that issue, perhaps, and I don't know what the proper procedure would be necessarily in regard to the ordinance right now. But when we get to the contract, I would ask that you make that suggestion and then the board can vote on it.
On this, 7M.
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve? I'm gonna assume you don't want to table anymore, is that right?
Well, yeah, we're gonna address it later, right?
Yeah, the language you want changed will actually be in the contract, we're on the contract under 7M, so that's where we're going to address that.
I still think it should be tabled and then we return to it.
I understand, okay, all right.
Because
Okay,
nobody
so-
is trying to bypass what you were saying, Alderman Norman. We were just trying to figure out the proper place to put it, and I think it goes in the contract.
Okay. All right, well, then we don't have to table it then, I guess, if we're gonna.
My suggestion is table it
Okay.
until it gets added.
All right.
I'll second the
table.
Well, let's make a motion to table until after 7 PM, is that correct? Can you make that motion, please? Motion to table until after 7
I'll
PM.
make that motion. I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Alderman Norman,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Lyford,
Yes.
Alderman Dooner,
Yes.
Alderman Horner,
Yes.
Alderman December.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Now, Bill number 1387 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing the execution of vehicle lease agreement for 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe for the police department. Bill number 1387 is ordinance. An ordinance authorizing the execution of the vehicle lease agreement for 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe for the police department. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I think Alderman Norman, is that right?
No.
Oh, Horner, I'm sorry. Alderman Horner and Alderman Dieter.
So discussion, or good to call
I'm
the
sorry?
roll? Is there discussion or shall I call the roll?
Now, go ahead, call the roll, unless someone has a question or comment. I assume they did not, because no one spoke up, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Alderman Horner,
Yes.
Alderman Dooner,
Yes.
Alderman Lyford,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman December,
Yes.
Alderman Norman,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, old business. Discuss and authorize the mayor to sign a letter of support for a housing development. This was requested by, to be brought back up by Alderman Lyford.
This letter of support is for the contractor developer to file for MHDC. Find state of Missouri lags way behind in providing low-income housing. This particular letter is used in support of his application to MHDC. Does not circumvent any zoning requirements of the city. We are not designating a spot for his development. The current situation appears to be citizens are well organized, it appears. So he's perhaps will have to find a different location. All we're wanting to do is to move this MHDC funding forward with a letter of support for low-income housing.
Okay, can I get a motion on this item?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion? There's a motion and a second.
The gentleman was here last month and clearly stated more than one time that they did not need this letter of support. He stood there, he said it more than probably 3 times. He doesn't need it. Why are we bringing it back up? And on this letter, it clearly states the location. I don't know if you have not heard from our citizens, but they are not okay with it. How can we?
I have visited with those citizens.
Okay. How can we?
The current letter from the city does not have an address in it.
The letter that it's attached to is the exact same.
This is the letter.
Okay, but on the Oakland group, it has it connected.
This is all right. The motion is just.
But
on
again,
the
he was
letter.
here last month and said that he did not need it, more than one time.
Just want to be clear.
If you've ever processed or had an opportunity to fill out an application for MHDC funds, anything that you can add to the file is to your benefit.
to look at our citizens and see what they say,
We
and if
are
it's to
not
their benefit.
circumventing the zoning requirements. Is that correct?
Correct.
And again, Kevin
Citizens' comments
himself,
are still welcome about where the project is located.
Kevin himself said he does not need it. It was tabled until further, and now you've brought it back up, so now it's a yes or no vote. And he himself said that it was not needed.
Any other discussion on this item? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Lyford,
Yes.
Alderman Norman,
No.
Alderman Dooner,
No.
Alderman Jones,
No.
Alderman Deekemper. No. Alderman Horner,
No.
motion fails.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to 7I. Now we'll entertain a motion on that. Okay, we have a motion to table until after close. Can I get a second?
I'll make that motion.
Discussion? Whenever you're ready.
Alderman Norman,
Yes.
Alderman Horner,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Deekemper. Yes. Alderman Dooner, Alderman Lyford,
What was your vote?
She abstained.
I abstain. Can't vote on it.
Yes.
thank you. Motion carries.
Okay, item M. Discuss and authorize the mayor to sign proposal for Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission municipal agreement for Routes 47 and US 61 interchange, job number J2P3043.
So you want, so I would make a motion to add the part that you wanted to add.
To section 26, the city representative, the city administrator.
So the motion would be to approve with the addition of city administrator and under, along with city mayor, city
Is it an and or?
And or, yes.
And or.
Section 26. Under that agreement.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
You made the motion.
I'll second.
All right, Alderman Jones. Any questions or discussion on that item? Call a roll, please.
Alderman Norman,
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Alderman Dooner,
Yes.
Alderman Deekemper.
Yes.
Alderman Horner,
Yes.
Alderman Lyford.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
Now we'll go back to the ordinance. Yeah, I've read the ordinance twice. We had a motion to table till after item 7. I'll take a motion to approve now.
Make that motion?
I'll second.
It would be item 5.2, I believe. Yes. Bill number 1386.
And I have a motion from Alderman Jones and a second from Alderman Norman, is that
Yes.
right? Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Alderman Deekemper?
Yes.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item discuss and authorize mayor to sign Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Master Reimbursable Utility Agreement. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Any questions, discussion on this? This is basically, we're agreement in place in order to do that, so. When they do the road project, we're gonna have to move some water line, different things, and then MoDOT's gonna pay us for it, reimburse us. If you don't have any concerns, we'll call the roll, please.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item O, discuss and approve Boones Lick Regional Planning Commission engagement agreement for Troy Comprehensive Plan and review of city zoning ordinances. I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
What was the date of our last comprehensive?
2012.
It's
long overdue.
Yes, thank you.
Whenever you're ready, Tony.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item P, discuss and approve creation of agreement for use and development of Cricket Creek Park.
Yes, so at this point, I'm just asking the board for permission to work with Brian on kind of creating a outside agreement that we can use to have a user group in there, kind of develop and utilize that park space.
Can I get a motion on that item?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any questions? This is just making you aware that we'd like to move in that direction. Any agreement would be brought back for approval. And call a roll whenever you're ready.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item Q, discuss and approve Kiwanis Park entrance sign donated by Troy Kiwanis Club.
Mine again. In the back of your binder portfolio, there's a sketch of what Kiwanis is wanting to install. They're going to fund it. We've kind of picked out a spot right next to the entrance. It's out of the line of the pipeline, leaves visible in and out, so you can see people coming and going. Just asking permission to install.
When are they gonna try to build that next spring or something?
Last I heard, they're still trying to get it in this month, or next month. So.
Really? I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any other questions? Call roll, please.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item R, discuss and approve purchase of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe from John Brown Chevrolet in the amount of $44,746 for the police department, waiving the city's purchasing procedures, ordinance number 1158, section 150.050, due to price and availability.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Go ahead. Go ahead, thank you.
Got Horner and Deacon right here. Any questions on this? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Dooner?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I'll take a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of legal, real estate, and personnel.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Alderman Horner?
Yes.
Alderman Deacon? Alderman Dooner,
Yes.
Alderman Deacon?
Yes.
Alderman Lyford?
Yes.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
Alderman Norman?
Yes.
Motion carries.